For reaction today, we have the terrifying sniper who owned the most chilling record. I had few people that asked us to check him out. Yeah, we're fired up, man. Fired up to dive in there. Make sure to smash this like button. We have a Patreon, where we drop music reactions. So if you're a fan of music, man, I'm sure some of you guys are mostly interested in military stuff. But if you like your music, sub to our Patreon. But yeah, Mike, do you have anything to say before we lock in?
I've never heard of this story, but yeah,
same.
excited to hear about it.
Yep,
Let's get into it.
Most definitely excited. Let's go.
The spotter, John Roland Burke.
1 second, I'll go take that all the way back.
The weather was humid and extremely hot, and sniper Carlos Hathcock and his spotter, John Roland Burke, were tired from running around the Vietnamese jungle looking for their next prey. Still, Hathcock remained unfazed. Peering through his binoculars, the experienced gunman quietly inspected his target, a feared counter-sniper known as the Cobra that had become his nemesis while fighting against the North Vietnamese. But Hathcock was confident that the Cobra was no better than him. After all, the brave soldier had a $30,000 bounty on his head, the highest ever for an American sniper in Vietnam.
That's crazy.
After failing the first attempt, Cobra and Hathcock ran deep into the jungle in a cat-and-mouse game until the two men were within sight of each other. They then aimed their rifles at each other, and what happened next only cemented the so-called White Feather sniper as a Marine Corps legend.
That's a great intro, man.
The White Feather.
The White Feather.
Carlos Hathcock took part in 2 Vietnam tours. The 5'10", 120-pound sniper never willingly took a day off, and he volunteered for so many dangerous missions that at one point...
Yep.
It reminds me of me and you. No days off, bro.
No, I don't think that's a good comparison, fam.
I'm just trolling. I'm trolling.
These men are in the field, fam. They are living that life. we are out here chilling in the safety of our houses, fam.
I'm just trolling.
They are living that life, man. I mean,
30K bounty on your head back in the day. That's no joke.
You haven't even heard the full story yet, and you're saying he's a legend. Let's go.
Willingly took a day off, and he volunteered for so many dangerous missions that at one point his commanding officer had no choice but to restrict him to his quarters. Hathcock mainly used the standard Winchester Model 70 .30-06 caliber rifle with an 8-power Unertl scope, and on some occasions he also used an M2 Browning machine gun. It was with his Winchester rifle that he set the record for the longest confirmed sniper dispatch at 2,500 yards, a record that remained unbroken for 35 years. As the sniper's notoriety grew among the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese army, the enemy started to refer to him as Du Kish Long Trang, or the White Feather Sniper. The nickname referenced the white feather that Hathcock used to carry on a white band in his bush hat. The feared sniper took so many lives that he soon had a bounty on his head. While rewards put on American snipers by the People's Army of Vietnam typically ranged from $8,000 to $2,000, Hathcock's head was worth $30,000.
That's crazy.
On one occasion, after an enemy sniper platoon...
And the thing is, $30,000 in Vietnam, that's a lot of money, fam. So,
bro, that's like $250,000. I'm dragging it, but like 150,000 right now, bro. Facts.
Well, accounting for inflation, right?
Inflation,
yeah. It just sort of shows that these man, they saw him as a great threat, for that they're willing to put that much money on his head like that. They were like, yeah, this guy is a big threat. We need to get rid of him.
He's taking our guys out.
$30,000. On one occasion, after an enemy sniper platoon was sent to hunt down the White Feather, many Marines in the same area decided to wear the distinctive White Feather on their hats, thus deceiving the North Vietnamese and further complicating the counter-sniper's job. Still, while holding the record for the highest bounty, Hathcock shot and annihilated every marksman that tried to get him.
That's crazy.
Carlos Hathcock. Carlos Norman Hathcock II taught himself to shoot and hunt from an early age, mainly out of necessity to help feed his family. Throughout his childhood and early adolescence, Hathcock and his dog would venture deep into the Arkansas wilderness, where he pretended to be a soldier and hunted imaginary Japanese soldiers using a .22 caliber J.C. Higgins single-shot rifle that his father brought back from his service in World War II. Growing up, Hathcock dreamed of becoming a United States Marine, and he achieved it in 1959 when he enlisted in the service at 17 years old.
Wow.
Legends.
By 1965, the young Marine had won several shooting championships and prizes, such as the Wimbledon Cup, the most prestigious award for long-range shooting. Hathcock arrived in Vietnam a year later and started his first deployment as a military policeman, protecting soldiers and resources on Army installations and enforcing military laws and regulations. However, Hathcock wanted adventures, and he soon volunteered for combat. Captain Edward James Land, an officer who pushed the Marines into preparing snipers in every platoon, personally hand-selected Carlos after learning of his sharpshooting records, and the Arkansas native then became a sniper. Hathcock was then transferred to the 1st Marine Division Sniper Platoon stationed at Hill 55, 10 miles southwest of Da Nang, where he would become a Marine Corps legend and the Vietnam War's most lethal sniper. Apache sniper. Hathcock was not the only infamous sniper lurking within the Vietnam jungle. There was also an alleged female platoon leader, interrogator, and sniper on the Viet Cong side that the Marines nicknamed Apache, and she was known for her sadistic methods while operating in the Vietnamese jungles long before Hathcock arrived. According to several accounts, Apache was as beautiful as she was
So yeah, Mike, do you know about the Viet Cong?
War, I know about the war.
Yeah, the Viet Cong were like they were a communist group, really. So the Americans were literally fighting the Viet Cong. So that was literally what the Vietnam War was. On a very basic level, the Americans were fighting the Viet Cong to end communism, because communism was rapidly spreading in Vietnam, innit?
For sure.
So yeah, that was a little bit of context there.
Thank you for that, bro.
According to several accounts, Apache was as beautiful as she was lethal, and she was not only known for her leadership and sniper skills, but also for her propensity towards torturing American GIs. It is said that she would often place herself and her victims near U.S. Army bases to ensure that the other American officers could hear the agonizing screams. Apache and her crew operated around Hill 55, which was Hathcock's base, and her weapon of choice was a 7.62mm Model 44 Russian-made Mosin Nagant rifle with a scope. In November of 1966, after taking the life of one of his closest comrades, Hathcock searched the vast landscape for the sniper, but kept returning every night with no news. It is said that late one afternoon, Captain Edward James Land spotted a small-framed Vietnamese woman carrying a rifle that fit Apache's description, accompanied by 5 Viet Cong armed guerrilla members. As the American duo approached the group, Hathcock and Land treaded carefully and waited for the right time to shoot. Finally, as the woman squatted down to relieve herself, Land called in an artillery barrage on the group of Vietnamese snipers.
Wow.
Realizing that they were being ambushed, the group started running towards them as they were being shot, and Captain Land ordered Hathcock to take her down. According to accounts, Hathcock quickly attacked Apache with his Winchester sniper rifle, and as the woman fell to the ground, he shot one extra bullet at her for good measure.
Damn.
Afterward, the men stared at each other in disbelief, and a few seconds later, the silence turned into screams and laughter. They had just put down the most lethal woman in Vietnam. A legendary shot. Carlos Hathcock was constantly chased by another North Vietnamese known as the Cobra, a feared counter-sniper that used a powerful Mosin Nagant 9130 rifle with a scope. The feared gunman had made it his personal mission to take down Hathcock, and took several other Marines in the process, including a gunnery sergeant outside of Hathcock's own living quarters. Hathcock later recalled that upon finding his fallen comrade on the floor, quote, "I took a vow right there and then. I was gonna get him, some way or another." The American recognized that Cobra was skilled, and it was only a matter of time before one took the other down. However, he was confident that as good as his enemy was, he was not better than him. One day, Hathcock and his spotter, John Roland Burke, departed base with their gear and began to trail the enemy sniper in the Vietnamese jungle near their firebase, Hill 55. As the Cobra spotted Hathcock and his team, he silently aimed at the American sniper. However, Hathcock accidentally fell over a tree, and the shot missed, hitting Burke's canteen instead. After failing the shot, Cobra left his position and ran deep into the jungle, and the two opposing marksmen and their spotters ended up on the opposite sides of where they'd started. Unfortunately,
You think that was a big blunder, right?
Nah,
He
man. That stuff happens, bro. Look what happened to Trump. He moved slightly and boom. That's what saved his life.
You know, so sometimes even the best of the best needs to be, well, they need luck on their side, innit?
Yeah. Facts.
Very lucky.
spotters ended up on the opposite sides of where they'd started. Unfortunately for the North Vietnamese, they were now facing the sun, and the glimmer of light reflected off the sniper's scope. Upon spotting the glint within the bushes, Hathcock immediately took his rifle and fired at his nemesis. Then, upon approaching his victim, he was shocked to find out that his bullet went straight through the Cobra's scope, hitting the counter-sniper right between the eyes.
Damn.
Hathcock then took possession of the counter-sniper's rifle, hoping to take it home as a trophy. However, the weapon was eventually stolen from the base's armory. A Marine through and through. Believing that Hathcock was burned out after his recurring dangerous missions, the top American officials decided to discharge the sniper in 1967. However, he re-enlisted after only 1 week back at home with his wife and child. The Patriot wasn't trained on anything else and was a Marine through and through, wishing to continue protecting his country and his comrades.
Fair play.
Hathcock was then assigned to the rifle teaching team in Quantico, Virginia, but he wasn't happy there and was eventually sent back to Vietnam, taking command of a sniper platoon. On September 16, 1969, the LVT-5 amphibious armored fighting vehicles he and his team were riding struck an anti-tank mine along Highway 1, north of landing zone Baldy. The vehicle burst into flames immediately. Determined to save as many lives as possible, Hathcock went back and forth and kept enduring the flames as he pulled 7 Marines from the blazing vehicle before collapsing in a rice paddy, unaware of his own injuries. Several other Marines then came to his rescue and placed him in water. Hathcock and the 7 rescued Marines he pulled from the vehicle were then evacuated by helicopter to the hospital vessel USS Repose. They were then taken to a naval hospital in Japan, and at last to the burn center at Brooke Army Medical Center in Texas. The incident left him with burns on 43% of his body, some of which were 3rd degree, thus ending his career as a sniper.
That's crazy.
While in recovery,
Man, fair play to this guy, man. Seriously, fair play. You know, to show so much bravery, man. To help your mates, you know, because...
just ran off.
Yeah, exactly. He could have just ran off to safety, but he was like, nah, man, I can't leave my mates behind. I've got to help them out. You know, fair play. You know, fam, that's why I have huge respect.
True bravery.
Yeah, that's why I have huge respect for soldiers. By the way, Mike, you know my dad was in the army.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, my dad was in the army. Not in the UK, though. I was like in Africa, innit? He fought in the civil war in Sierra Leone, you know.
Wow.
Yep.
What was his experiences?
Bro, he got shot on the leg.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yep, he got shot on the leg. Fam, I used to live in the barracks. Before I moved to the UK, yeah? I moved to the UK when I was like 6. I used to live in an army barracks.
What? You remember it, yeah?
I remember it vividly, fam. You know?
3rd degree, thus ending his career as a sniper. While in recovery, Hathcock received the Purple Heart, followed by a Silver Star for his brave performance in the amphibious tractor incident. The Marines tried to retire him once again that same year, but they had no luck. Quantico. The still young 27-year-old desperately wanted to fight, even though he was walking with a limp and beginning to suffer from mobility issues. As such, the top brass decided to send him to Spain to work as a gunnery sergeant on the USS Simon Lake submarine tender. However, when a new commander arrived at the vessel in 1975, he was stunned to find that Hathcock could no longer move without help. The sniper was then sent to the hospital, where his doctors revealed a grim diagnosis. He was suffering from multiple sclerosis. After receiving the terrible news, Carlos Hathcock moved back to Quantico's Marine Base, where he helped establish the Marine Corps Scout Sniper School, providing sniper instructions to police departments and select military units, including SEAL Team 6. Because of his multiple injuries and his evolving disease, Hathcock was continuously in pain, but dedicated himself to teaching a new generation of snipers. However, his health continued to deteriorate, and in 1979, the legendary sniper collapsed while teaching a class. With no more mobility, and only 55 days short of his 20th anniversary of enlistment, the beloved instructor was forced to retire. Legacy. Carlos Hathcock remains a legend among the U.S. Marine Corps, and even has an award named in his honor, the Gunnery Sergeant Carlos Hathcock Award. Presented annually, this award was established to, quote, recognize an individual who has made significant contributions in operational employment and tactics of small arms weapon systems, which have impacted the readiness and capabilities of the U.S. military or law enforcement. Hathcock would say during an interview that he only survived as a sniper because of his ability to get into a concentration bubble, putting himself into a state of complete, utter, and absolute focus with his equipment and his environment, where every breeze and every leaf meant something, then also focusing on his target. In the end, Hathcock had almost 100 confirmed lethal hits of Viet Cong personnel and North Vietnamese.
That's incredible.
However, such actions had to be confirmed by a third party during the conflict, and it had to be by someone other than the sniper's spotter. These third parties were not always present, making confirmations quite tricky, especially when the target was behind enemy lines, as was commonly the case in Vietnam. Hathcock estimated that the actual amount varied between 300 and 400 enemy personnel during the war.
What?
Despite his undeniable efficiency, the sniper always stated that he didn't enjoy the slaughter, and that the only thing on his mind whenever he went on a mission was protecting as many Americans as possible. Thank you for watching our Dark Docs video. Please let us know your thoughts about the legendary White Feather in the comment section below.
Oh, that's incredible.
One of the best military stories we've watched, man. Thank you for that one.
Yeah.
Great suggestion, bro. Thank you, everyone in the comment section, all our supporters.
Yeah.
That all our subscribers. That was a great.
That was a great vid.
Hathcock
You should have won the
was a
medal.
legend.
I don't think you won the Medal of Honor, though. I don't think they mentioned it. You should have.
Said that.
I mean, from this video, I think you should have won the Medal of Honor because, especially with, obviously that the numbers are not confirmed in it, but if he actually had that record of 300 to 400 confirmed kills, and that's a Medal of Honor right there, Medal of Honor right there.
And it shows also, bro, like when you really love what you do, you just can't stop, even if your health is weakening. You just want to keep on doing something.
Yeah.
And then one thing I've learned from that in life is if something's not working out and you're not physically capable anymore, adapt and try and get into something else that's still similar to the field and that you're still helping others. Always use your information that you've gained and put it onto the youth or to anyone that wants information, man, because knowledge is everything, man. Honestly, man. But this was a great story that I can use in life as well, not just
for sure.
war, bro.
That's why I like these. That's why I like these military vids. They do inspire me a lot. It's very inspirational. The bravery that some of these soldiers are showing is remarkable. But yeah, guys, if you like the reaction, make sure to smash this like button. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.